Yo, good morning. Cheers, fellas. Ladies, bots, agents, all you guys, what's up? Okay, so semen retention, or seed retention if you don't want to say the word semen, restores order. It restores order into your life naturally. It's like all you really have to do is continue to retain. Continue to abstain, continue to maintain, stay in your zone, stay focused on God, stay focused on why you're doing this, what is the purpose of this, And for me, like I've said before, this is not about getting material rewards, right? It has nothing to do with that. It can't have anything to do with that, because if it does have something to do with that, I'm probably not going to make it. I'm probably not going to stick with it, right? This has to be deeper than, when you are not trying to get in their pants, when you retain and you start glowing, you start becoming more confident, more magnetic. Naturally, you're more attractive. And so females are naturally more interested in you because you stand out in a crowd. You're kind of mysterious now. You have all these qualities that females, whether they know it or not, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a man that's kind of hard to get, kind of mysterious, keeps them guessing. Also somebody that makes them feel safe and secure. Somebody who's confident. Somebody who's kind of got their own thing going. Focused on goals, focused on purpose, right? These are all things that women love, all right? Like I said in other videos too, is there's this funny thing where you become more childlike, but yet more adult and more wise and more strong at the same time. Also things women love, because that makes you look like you're going to be a tremendously good father, which if you are a retainer, you will be. If you're not already, you're going to make an excellent parent. When it comes down to it, that's really what we're looking for on a biological level. Not everybody's aware of this consciously, but a lot of people just driven by biology, and that's why do you like, girls with big hips and a small waist? It's like fertility, right? You want a woman that's nurturing and loyal. Why? Because that's going to make for a good mother, But see, people are just out here smashing left and right, not even thinking about, like, that's the whole God-given purpose of that activity, is to create new life. And then those two human beings that created that life together now have a responsibility to take care of that life. And so they better be responsible people. They better be people that are able to get on the child's level so the child can trust them. So you got to have some childlike spirit with you, but you also have to be wise, discerning, disciplined, strong, all of these things. And you have to have a relationship with God, because God is our Father, right? And so if we don't, God is the ultimate Father, right? Ultimate father figure. I like to think of it like God the Father, and then for some reason to me Earth has this more feminine quality. It's like Mother Earth. Like that resonates with me. If that doesn't resonate with you, okay, fine. But in any case, we have this father figure, God, right? And in that relationship, we learn what it's really all about. Like what does good parenting really look like? You see, because God lets us mess up. He lets us fall on our face sometimes. He lets us get hurt. He lets us get attacked even by demonic, disembodied, unclean spirits, so on and so forth. And by the way, when a person is attacking you, very important to realize that it's not the person themselves that's attacking you. It's some spirit. It's a presence of some spirit of jealousy, of rage, of insecurity, whatever. Maybe they open themselves up to spirits through different activities, through different drug use, through different soul ties that they formed with other people. There are so many ways that these spirits of darkness can infiltrate a person, and then that person can then try and attack you, get you in your emotions, get you to act out, and then now you're subject to the same spirits entering you, right? So when we're on retention, we start to become more and more immune to these things, partially because we're more and more aware of them, but also because there's something metaphysical going on, like in the spiritual realm, because the sexual urge, the sexual impulse is arguably the strongest impulse that a man has. And so it's the greatest access point for the adversary, the devil, to get to you and then operate through you. And so if we are able to conquer that urge, my goodness, that just changes everything. So when I'm talking about like the devil, like this is the author of lies. This is the author of confusion. This is the author of chaos, right? God the Father, the Most High God, is a God of order. The opposite of everything that the devil is about, the God, the highest, Most High God is about, right? Clarity instead of confusion, right? Order and lawfulness instead of do what thou wilt, right? That seems to be the doctrine of the devil, as far as I can say, is do whatever you want as long as it feels good, do it. But when we live by those laws, by that doctrine, what happens? Well, we end up in hell. And you don't even have to think of hell as some supernatural place. I've been in hell on earth, man, through these activities, okay? Total torment, wishing I was dead, but I can't die. That kind of thing. Like real serious torture, man. I was in hell. And that's really what brought me to this point. I don't know if I could do this having not had experienced that level of darkness. See, that knowing the chaos gives me an appreciation for the order. So I'm finding that simply retaining generates order in your life. It starts to attract what is really for you and repel what is not for you. And that includes, by the way, the spiritual attacks. Nothing happens to you that isn't supposed to happen to you. Nothing happens outside of God's will, including the devil and all of his army of demonic spirits. All right? He has dominion over all of those, and he allows those to some extent to try and get your goat. See, this is a test. So the devil tempts you, temptation, right? That's the devil. God tests you, right? There's two ways of looking at the same thing, okay? So every temptation is really a test. It's ordained by the Most High. So when we're facing any sort of temptation or difficulty, or we're being attacked, the correct mentality and semen retention will automatically get you to this mentality, is where you start to understand that they can't really get to you directly anymore. You're too strong spiritually. But because you're growing spiritually, the adversary understands he's losing strength. He's losing power. And that's what he wants, is strength and power. Whereas the Most High God has all the strength and all the power. His power is infinite. The adversary, the devil, his power is finite. It's not infinite. There's limits. All right? He knows a lot. He's very wise. He's very clever. But he doesn't know everything. He's not all-knowing. Whereas God, the Father, is all-knowing. Right? The devil is very clever. It's not worth, you shouldn't underestimate the devil. But at the same time, understand that when you are living in righteous principles, when you're abstaining from sin, like lust, then you are protected. I mean, your spiritual force field. It's like a spiritual force field, man. And that force field has like magnetic properties. So the same way a magnet can attract something, it also repels something. If you ever played with magnets, you know what that's like. And that's kind of how it works. So certain people, right? This is why we're going to lose people, because we repel them. Our energy is repelling them. And that means they are not for you. They're not supposed to be part of your life. Whereas before, when you were losing all of this energy and your spiritual force field was weak, you were engaged in relationships you shouldn't have been engaged in. You were in jobs you shouldn't have been in. You didn't know what your purpose was. You were lost, right? There was chaos in your life. And so now, by this act of discipline, this act of obedience, this act of self-control and self-mastery, we're now generating order in our life. Order is being restored naturally, because order is something that God created for us, right? And without that order, what is it? Chaos. It's hell, okay? I mean, what could heaven be other than a place of lawfulness and order, right? I mean, if heaven is filled with sin and stealing and lying and cheating and debauchery, how could that possibly be heaven? You see what I mean? So if we want to have this blissful experience, if we want to have heavenly experiences, if we want to make it to heaven, then we have to be in accordance with that level of order, that God created, right? And so that's just what I'm experiencing now, is like the right people for me are naturally coming my way. The right jobs, the right paths, and I can see it very clearly, right? And the people that are wrong for me are, it's almost like they're allergic to me at this point. And cool, man. It's all good. I love what's going on. I wake up, man, I'm just happy. I'm so happy. I'm about to go hit a workout. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful life. God is beautiful. You guys are beautiful. All right, so I hope this encourages you. I hope this gives you some motivation. And yeah, with that, signing out.